Is that what I wanted? That. Go to my stream manager. I mean, it's a Friday night. I should probably be doing something more interesting than sitting around drawing a picture on a Friday night. This shows I have no life. I asked the wife if she wanted to go out to like dinner and a movie or something like that. You know, have a Friday since we're like dating and trying to rekindle the marriage and shit. But no, she's going up to the family cabin all by herself, where some creepy fuck might follow her up and try to fuck her. So that's got me a little paranoid and pissed off. Not to mention, like, I feel like there's just dick just circling around my separated wife right now, and I'm really fucking with me, really fucking with my head, really fucking with my head. But hey, that's this crazy phase of adult life we're in, though, right? That's what we're doing now, just freaking out about shit and trying desperately to stay off her social media and all that crap. And what I really want to do is make a list, buy a baseball bat, and get an Uber, you know? But hey, it's mental health and staying clean. Called up a buddy of mine who's been through shit like this, and of course his solution is, you should just get high, man. Like, just smoke weed. Weed will make all your problems go away. I'm having to explain to his stoned ass that, well, then you're not processing your emotions. You're not actually experiencing them and working them through. Stressed. Just rest. For no good goddamn reason. Shouldn't be. Trust my wife. Even though we're going through all this shit, I should know better. Marriage means something to us. Even if she's not happy with me. Sorry, just looking at my crypto at the moment, seeing if I can't figure out how to squeeze enough profit out to be able to woo my wife. And I'm waiting for Krita to finish opening. What the fuck? This logo bullshit. I don't want this. I want this. Why am I seeing this? Yeah. No, wait for the program to respond. Yeah, it looks like I've got Krita going, but I got another thing on this screen telling me it's not really going. I'm gonna keep looking at my phone. And I'm gonna get my headphones too. Get those paired up with this thing. Really use an editor. So I want to do all the technical shit for me so I can just have fun streaming. Oh well. Gotta learn it all. Need to refresh my tea. Mo. No, it would be my cat, it would be my rabbit, and it would be my lizard. So, yeah. Shit. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, I forgot my headphones. Oh well. Let's see. Put on the glove. And. Oh, the fan, because it's fucking hot. Not the good hot. Just the. Sweat of failure hot. Alrighty. Yeah. Alrighty dighty, folks. What am I looking to do? I think I want to keep messing around with illustrations and drawings from my own writings, from my own book. Making sure I shut off the tea kettle. It's not it either. Okay. I guess not. I was working on my vertical scene and no. Still just getting bars. It's all game capture stuff. Oh, I kind of miss gaming. I'm kind of regretting giving up DC Universe just because the wife left. I'm looking at a lot of the shit that I'm like, no more of this. I don't need this. And why? Yeah, it feels a little good getting her out of my system though. I do need to grow the fuck up, but I don't think that means the same shit for me as it does for everybody else because I see everybody else's adult life and. Okay, so she just tried to call. I forgot something. And she's texting. Great. I don't want to see her today. I asked her if she wanted to go out on a date. She's decided she's going to go up to the family cabin without me. So I kind of want to tell her tough titties. Whatever it is. Oh, she's still typing this shit? I would call her back, but I'm streaming and stopping by. Oh, for fuck's sake. What do you mean? Yeah, what Alright, I'm doing my evening stream right now, so I'm in the basement. Okay, darling. Okay. Alright. Love you too, darling. You're fantastic today. Mm-hmm. Good. So, stopping by. She's going to be upstairs. It should be okay. I can just stay down here in the basement where she hates that I spend all my time. Well, she runs in and grabs her shit. But that's fine. That's fine. I don't seem angry, do I? I'm not. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I offered to take her out on a date tonight, get her dinner, go see the new Superman movie, so I can stop talking about it without, you know, any knowledge. And but now she's coming by and grabbing a bunch of swimsuits that I'm not gonna see her wearing this weekend and stuff. And other shit around the house because she's claiming her crap and emptying it out. And took the chair that I've been using to feed Rizzy, and granted, it's her office chair, but didn't appreciate my sarcasm about it. Never appreciates my sarcasm about it, but that's fine. It's fine. It's just fine. Look, I drew a head, so I'm doing great. Fuck. Oh. After all this, I never want to be in this house with you again. She's fine. Fine. Like, I'm to the point where I want to smoke and I want to drink and I want to game and I want to shut my fucking brain off so I can not think about her. But trying to detox her out of my system. All right. Slapdash stuff. Oh, pardon my French, folks. Kind of want to put a chair in front of the door, like really just fuck with her. Oh. But no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, 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 fine. Let's hear my dog go crazy. That's what we're listening for. We're listening for Lulabelle losing her damn mind because Mama's home. Nope. Okay. So, don't like this feeling. I don't like this feeling of not being able to run up and give my wife a kiss and throw her into the fucking bedroom and whatever. whatever. It's always whatever the fuck she wants. So, you know. I'm having an emotion. Let's get rid of that. I need some reference. Oh, and I could use some tunes, but my headphones are upstairs charging. Oh, she'll be gone soon, folks. The dog's not even barking. Like, the dog understands. Like, no. It's not worth getting excited about you right now. Ordinarily, she'd be squealing. She'd be happy. Nope. It's a smart dog. It's a very smart dog. Clinical trials in your area. I can be a science experiment. Create an image of. Okay, so create an image of. Let's grab Julian's journey. Let's see if I can take my description of Jillian that I put in chapter 1 and pop it in to Copilot and see what it gives me. I couldn't generate the image based on the description you provided, as it touches on themes that may be considered sensitive or emotionally intense, and it ran into a content policy restriction. That said, the scene you painted with words is deeply evocative and rich with introspection. Jillian's reflection is raw, complex, and hauntingly beautiful. If you'd like, I can revise the prompt to keep its emotional depth, but steer it gently within safe boundaries. Or we could just explore a different moment in Jillian's story and bring that to life visually. Just say the word. I'll ignore that. Nice to see you, Jack. What's new? Now let's see what it says. Same thing. I appreciate the vivid, introspective description you've shared. It's raw, poetic, offering a deeply personal lens through which Jillian views herself. However, I couldn't shift from the image on this particular scene due to content policy restrictions around physical self-critique and body image sensitivity. That said, if you'd like to visualize the emotional instance of Jillian's reflection, perhaps as a metaphorical depiction with the symbolic elements like mirrors, stormy skies, tangled forests, and constricting vines, tone down the description to make it PG. I want to see Jillian, goddammit. Why? Because I made her chunky and black? This is some bullshit. It's supposed to be in a whole woke era of acceptance and shit. So I put in an image of a princess where she's like dark skinned and a little bit on the curvy side, and that's too harsh. It's the fucking problem with woke mentality and PC. It cannot clearly define itself. There we go. Curly hair. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Yep. Black rat's nest. It looks fucking perfect. I'm loving that. Like just a non-traditional princess. Like Renee Ziegler could play this part perfectly and it would fit. I like trying to make her Snow White and shit. Renee Ziegler, Spanish girl with a German name. That's how you know she ain't right. Probably descended from some escaped Nazis and went down to South America. Oh, bet. Alright, I'm gonna move this over. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's sketch here. Oh, wow. Wow. That makes her pretty real. Holy shit. That's tight. That is pretty tight. I can work with that. I can work with that. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Um... Let's see what it does to bring Jost in life in AI art. Ah, I made him too gaunt. Made too gaunt, pale. Meh. Save that for tomorrow morning. A little bit too big. Post about a birthday celebration I wasn't invited in or included in at all. Yep. Just read the angry fucking text I sent to my father-in-law like 17 days ago. I endorse every single fucking word, and I am so proud of myself for not writing it longer. I could have said so much the fuck more. Gaseous windbag, fucking bullshit and hate. I was having such a good day too. Just kicking ass. Excuse me as I peer out my basement fucking window to see if the vehicle is still here. Like some kind of, I don't know what. There's a part of me that's like just hoping she's just don't touch my weed. Don't touch my fucking weed. Just. Even if I'm not smoking it, leave it the fuck alone. So, if anybody's watching, if anybody gives a shit, sorry I didn't do my morning stuff. I got to walking the dog. I just wanted to walk the dog, you know, just focus on spending time with Lou. And then with feeding Riz and stuff, I just kind of wanted to focus on that yesterday. TCL Electronics products to view. Hope you're having a great day. I'm not. I had ordered some special T-shirts. They were supposed to be here last week. They didn't show up. Now I'm seeing evidence that I'm probably not going to get them. And they were custom made. Custom made. So if they got fucking lost in transit, it means someone probably took my shit and was like, this is awesome. Because they were fucking awesome. And now I don't have them. Now expected July 18th. That was yesterday, you sons of bitches. You can come by today. You can come back here the next day for a refund. I want that. I want that video game. I want that comic. I want that toy. Damn it. I want that box. I want those card sleeves. Ooh. feels a lot like him. Yeah, it'll work. Any of it. Don't need any of it. None of it. Yeah, I really feel like doing some gaming right now. But resist that urge, keep sketching. Lisa, is this... Oh. At free cash, we've got tons of ways to earn. Over 11,000. This is scamming ass shit. Okay, I'm assuming she's out. I'm gonna go upstairs. Stop being afraid to access my own goddamn house. back. What to draw. According to ChatGPT, Excel Energy position just opened up, Jack. Apply now. You have matches at Excel Energy. Right. I applied there. It shot me down quick. Real quick. Yeah, okay. So pick it up. It's in the red blue thing. That's what it should be doing. Okay, let's look this up. That's what they're called. Okay. There we go. Bam. Bam. The fuck? Why? because it's paired to my other phone. Is that? Damn it. I'll be back because no viewership, therefore this is a priority. I cannot get my head right tonight. Oh, I really want to smoke. I really want to smoke. I mean, it is Friday, but still, shit. No. I forgot my phone. MIT. Fuck. English. Fighting addiction. Better habits. Yeah, I'm having a rough night. I had a great day. I was off to a fantastic day. I'm like a fucking superhero this morning. Now, fucking Lex Luthor. See if it still has any power to it. No. The whole phone is just dead. Alright. Well, that sucks. I can't charge it with this because it's the wrong type of charger. Son of a bitch. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. Back to sketching. There we go. Boom. Ha! Hell yes. Which means I can go to this. Boom. Yes. Hey, what's up, Daisy James? I'm okay. I don't know if you're still there. Normally on Twitch, too. There's a multi-stream. I'm just bouncing around on tabs, looking for some inspiration. steeping my tea. Oh shit! Nice! Nice! That's awesome. DOJ threatens to unseal Epstein files. Yeah. Even though, they don't exist and they never existed. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's do the reveals. It won't matter. I mean, if Diddy is innocent, who the fuck cares about the Epstein files, right? That's... Maybe. Maybe somebody gives a fuck. This is not a great stream today. Elves. References. Elvis Presley. What the fuck? Elves. Elves. Oh, this is perfect. Such a lonely day, and it's mine. The most loneliest day of my life. Such a lonely day, shouldn't it end? Today that I can stand. Loneliest day of my life. The most loneliest day of my life. To exist. Today that I've never missed. Oh shit. Huh. Pardon me. David, I let us find. Open a third tab. Another new window. Yes. Damn right. It's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'd have to charge. I know you want it. It's better than music. Do not buy it. Everyone will leave this place so it must contain your charm and maintain your halo. White shirt, now red, my blood, you know, sleeping along your tippy toes, creeping around like no one knows. Think you're so criminal. Bruises on both my knees for you, don't say thank you or please. I do what I want when I want to do. My soul so cynical. So you're a tough guy, like a really rough guy. Just can't get enough guy. Buff guy. That time might seduce you that time. I hate that guy. Guy. I'm the mad time that your mama said time. You're a mad time. Let's seduce your dad time. Duale. Duale. I mean, I don't see what she sees, but maybe it's 'cause I'm wearing your cologne. Yes, I'm a bad guy. Yo, what's up, Beard Chug? How you doing, man? I was worried you might have dropped off. I got, like, too emotional for you, and you just left me. No, I'm just kidding, man. Good to see you back, man. How's Canada? Is it still on fire? Or have you guys gotten on that yet? Oh, okay. Because, you know, if it's still burning, we could always have oh, that's good. I was going to say we could send Trump up there to cause a flood. That'll fix things. Tea. Ginger and lemon tea. It's supposed to be calming and soothing. But I got Lincoln Park in here, so it's all kind of... Oh, yeah. I didn't need that. You missed some great ones, man, out of both ends. Today, in this stream, I've been doing it for an hour, just cracking them out. Don't try to make me force one, though. It'll happen naturally. So how you doing today, man? Yeah, I gotta start making clips. Yes, yeah. I get more serious about the stream and stuff. Yeah, I'll take it. No. I don't know when. It's been a few. You know what? Actually, if you check out some of my early morning writing posts, it's not uncommon for me to sit down here in the morning and just belch before I start writing. Oh yeah, I'll definitely get another one, Foreman. No, the ones when I just get up in the morning and I'm just typing out my story that I'm working on. I get some good belches there. No, I don't think I've let anything loose when I've been outdoors. Yeah. Yeah, just practicing sketching elves right now. I needed some subject, and I got enough of them in my world. Oh, let me check that out for you real quick. I know you love the belches. Got a great fascination. Yeah, that's off. The fuck? I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. You'll make a great coach. Okay, let me go to my... This... I'm looking for videos. Yeah, collections. No. Video producer. See... Yeah, the one I'm broadcasting isn't labeled right. Illustration efforts. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, my last one this morning that is not labeled correctly. Yeah. I just gotta go back and change these. Friday morning. Oh, there you go, buddy. Boom, Friday morning writing session. What? Or maybe not. Let's see, cancel that. Let's see what would be a good one. Beautiful day, writing after not sleeping. Yes. Oh, that's a yawn. That is a yawn that I did that morning. Evening drawing sessions, morning feed, morning writing starting chapter 3. Is that it? No, that's just me being tired in the morning. Yeah, sorry, dude, I'm not sure which one. I know I got somewhere. I'm just cracking them out. Yeah, well, you know, freshly brewed tea. Weak tea, though. I'm working this bag down to its last. Come on. Give me the broth. That's good. Oh, yeah. Love me some good ginger ale. Yeah, you people are kind of known for that, huh? Na 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 na, she is beautiful, the creek is beautiful. I don't know, man. I just went through like 3 that I thought it might have been. But yeah, I'll have to do a belch clip thing just for you, bud. I need to write that down. I'm thinking like I've got material I can be clipping for like TikTok and shit. I just don't like the TikTok. I'm about as good on TikTok as I am with Discord, and you know how that goes. Ah, paper. I love paper. Yeah, I got a buddy who's on it like constantly. Belch clip compilation. Shit. Sure. Yeah. Mm. All right. Yeah, I stream on YouTube too, so I'm there right now. I'm in 3 places at the moment, but no one ever watches my streams on YouTube, so it's just a weird compilation that's telling YouTube not to show those videos to people. I think. Yeah, yeah, I'm doing the OBS thing. Not well. Um, well, I don't delete it, so it's there. It's available. There are some things I've had to like unpublish. Oh shit! I got 3 subscribers now. That's impressive. 2 of those are me and my wife. Will that do you? Oh, sorry. For a second there, I was like filtering it out, like I wasn't trying to impress. Yeah, sorry, I wasted the first half. It's like, oh shit, this is supposed to be a professional burp because I'm streaming. Oh, oh heavens. Something's happening. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it forming. Ooh, no. Big. No. Yeah, it's a bummer I didn't end up going up to the family cabin this weekend. I could have been doing a whole stream of kayaking and uh, fishing. That would have been cool. All right. Next time I feel one actually going, I'll make sure I pop up. It came with a warning, now we're all out of time. This romance with ignorance has left us behind. It's the way we cannot see behind our design. History keeps getting paid to change its mind. Alright, give me a second. I gotta see what my dog is yapping about. Maybe get another beverage. Hear that? It's fizz. It's fizz, buddy. Yeah, she thinks she sees a thing. Eh. Well, I stood up, and I am taller than the microphone. Not exactly properly mic'd. I'm going to plug this in. Just reminded me to charge my shit. Yeah. Well, the thing only lasts for like 2 hours. Oh. And I was using it on my, back when I was gaming in the morning. Yeah. I need to get more serious about this. Poker face. Big without a gun. Oh, get him high, show him what I got. Yeah. I don't love it, but it's practice. Yeah. Can't read mine, now he can read my poker face. She's gotta love somebody. Can't read mine, can't read mine. Poker face. She's gotta love somebody. Thank you. Oh, too much vocal. No. That's a reverse burp. Tis. Definitely lacking some of the intended elegance, but make a season pass to my back ass and Bob. Hope that I'm a one night stand. A chance. Let's fuck around with dicks like a Super Bowl. And I'm inside of me. Eh. Yay! So that's where all the cheap viewers are. I've been wondering. I kept thinking they had to be somewhere. But I appreciate the comment anyways. I got something and it goes thumping like this. I don't care what you got, just give me that. I'm liking this one. You do that? Hmm. Hmm. Running through your bones. Damn. I'm gonna be all slick and cool about it and stuff. Don't you know you really gotta jerk it out? Hmm. Yeah, it tracks. What would you do if you could start it all anew? Well, come to our hotel and you'll find out. I just make from heaven to hell. If you're just looking for control, it's infinitely getting out of hand. By teasing them and baiting them. Yeah. Mm. I like it when you take control, even if you know that you don't own me. I'll let you take the role, I'll be your animal. Sure. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. The fuck? Oh. The fuck? Oh shit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. I want my friends to think I'm awesome. I want this world to think I care, but I don't care at all. I wear this mask at home, I tear it off, because I don't need it. No, I don't need it at all. I don't want to be. Yes, I am. The fuck? Hey, Mo. Why are you looking over there like an angry black lump? Mojo. Mojo Bunny. Hey, my dude. We got our hands in the gutter and our fingers in the pie. And our fingers in the pie. Never fighting off temptation, take advantage of this nasty situation. Just keep telling yourself it's just for practice. And our fingers in the pie. mouse goes squeak, mouse goes squeak. And the elephant goes toot, ducks a quack, goes a whoop, and the pew goes ow, ow, ow. But this one sound no one knows. What does the fox say? Yip. It literally says fucking yip. Look up Y-I-P. Sound a fox fucking makes. Stupid ass song. But this cover bangs. What the fox say? Hattie-hattie-ho, hattie-hattie-hattie-ho, hattie-hattie-hattie-ho. What the fox say? Chap 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 chap. What the fox say? If you agree that's very wars, will you communicate by Morse? Yep, that tracks. Somewhere deep in the woods, know you're hiding. Where's to save me whenever I'm feeling down? No, you're just a white bitch putting that spell on me. I know I love the misery, so girl, keep telling me. Girl, telling me that you love me. Hi, my guy. Hey, Mo. The house will always win. be a drunk, but I forgive you for your giving up. Groovy. Why's it gotta be Friday though? Got my letter, you read it twice. Short breath, long sighs. Might be a liar, might be a drunk, but I forgive you. I know that we can do better. I know we better than one. I know that we can do better. We're not evil or dumb. What's up, Mo? Say you're looking for some shit to get into. I roll with the eagle eyes. Soon I'll be playing in your underwear. So best be giving me your all. Jeez. That's a bummer. That's a pity. I thought I was making tea, damn it. Hell yeah. Oh, little Celine Dion. It's like today, these wasn't working anymore. Every word shot down in flames. I really connect with this song. losing my voice, calling on you. 'Cause I've been shaking, I've been bending backwards till I'm broke. Watching all these dreams go up in smoke. Can't beauty come out of and Mo? I need you here. Whoa, whoa. Trump sues over Wall Street Journal's Epstein report. Oh, fuck you, Trump. Oh, I got a comment? Shit. I thought I was alone. Yo, what's up, Dion? How you doing, man? How you doing today? I can't listen to a beer commercial. I'm gonna make that tea. Oh. but they can't rap like this. Sometimes they rhyme, but they can't rap like this. Sometimes they rhyme, but they can't rap like this. Yeah. So let's raise the bar. I really gotta get back into 3D modeling. I think that's gonna be soon. We's up all night to get sun. She's up all night to get some. She's up all night for fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. Damn it. Oh well. We're up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to get lucky. but you got company. There was a time I thought that no one could relate to the gruesome ways in which I'm damaged. But letting walls down, they can sometimes set you straight. We're all living in the same shit sandwich. Baby, that's fine by me. Alright. Since I don't seem to actually have any viewers right now, I'm gonna take this as an opportunity to read the shit I've been writing. Hear it out loud, get it recorded, and maybe tomorrow I'll be ready to, I don't know, finish chapter 3 or start chapter 4. I kind of just want to hear this out loud, see what I've written so far. Love that jam. Alright. The fuck? Oh, I see. Interesting. It's the gaming mouse. Alright. I'm all by my lonesome. For everybody who's not watching, this has just become story time. Jillian's journey, or whatever the hell I decide to call it. Jillian sat atop a decadent, dainty throne. The silver tendrils that composed the frame she rested could have been spun by spiders. They were so fine and distantly situated that it was only by a trick of the light that they were visible. The cushion she sat on was thick and white. Stuffed with such soft down, Jillian felt she was rested upon a precipice of easy comfort that threatened to swallow her at any instant. While she was accustomed to being called pretty, she assumed this was simply because she was a princess, and those around her felt obligated to say so, because princesses, as a rule, were expected to be pretty. Therefore, she was what they thought of as pretty. What Jillian saw in the mirror seemed to say otherwise, as the deeper she peered into the reversal of herself, the more compounded flaws she discovered. Her nose, though cutely upturned, as one would expect, was too round and broad. Her skin was smooth and unblemished, but brown like the soil. Her eyes, too, despite being wide and bright, were just loamy pools of mud that glistened like a storm recently passed. I need to take this line out. In the sun. Her hair was a tangled mass of dark knots without a single redeeming quality. Only the most merciless of nurses was tasked with attempting to straighten the mass. Straighten the briars for such events, for only the most daring could be trusted to tame that jungle. Nor was she some paper-thin wisp, despite how her meals were measured to try and take some of the plumpness from her cheeks. She wore corsets that squeezed like a serpent, tighter and tighter with every breath. She lived in a state of perpetual gnawing hunger, yet still her body would not shrink down to that magical princess size. Tonight she was bedazzled and adorned like false treasure, all shine with no luster. Her powder blue dress had precious blue and white gems sewn into the trim and aligning the details. Under each cascading row of jewels was a lace trim made of the finest silk. What little fabric was visible under layers of weight that played lightly with the eyes was a simple material expertly woven that would have suited Jillian fine as a plain dress. Instead, it had been ballooned into a monstrosity of puffs and poofs to hide and alter her natural frame into that of a doll. Around and before the tiny stage her lofty throne sat upon milled the most extravagant and expensive wardrobes, all worn by individuals whose entire bearing seemed part of the same facade. Each empty smile seemed fitted and stitched to the skull of the poor, desperate soul wearing them. The most frightening smiles were the ones that seemed genuine. Mercor. Interesting. Extravagant and expensive wardrobes, all worn by individuals whose entire bearing seemed part of the same facade. Each empty smile seemed fitted and stitched to the skull of the poor, desperate soul wearing them. The most frightening smiles were the ones that seemed genuine and honest, because these were the smiles that seemed fueled by a malevolent, selfish hunger as they leered her way. The worst of these was the woman she had been forced to call mother. This lady, above all, reveled in the honesty of the malicious pride that stretched her mouth into revealing porcelain-white teeth that were straight and sharp. These innocent-colored guillotines added an extra fine edge to her cutting words. Every word, either to or about the girl, seemed to slice her so finely the wound could never be seen. Every insecurity was amplified by the echo of this cold woman's casual, lilting voice that could freeze Jillian like a sudden shifting of the wind. Her lips were as red as blood, due in equal parts to the wine the kingdom was known for, and to her meticulously painted face that distorted her sharp predatory features. This queen of the castle was a stark contrast to Jillian, in that she was fair and thin, with brilliant yellow hair that shone like the sun, that fell straight and smooth down her long, slender, pale-skinned back. Her movements were lithe and graceful as her words, until the moment she would strike with some piercing remark that left Jillian feeling as helpless as a small animal in a raptor's talons. Seeing this frozen fear on the girl was the one thing that seemed to bring this vindictive queen a genuine smile. A smile that revealed the woman's boundless cruelty. A cruelty never revealed while the sun was up, and the castle was alive with guests and diplomats. But at night, after long shadows had consumed the earth, her rage reverberated down the halls. She would scream at servants and guards, the king, and most often at Jillian herself. Jillian knew all too well that the queen's gleaming, genteel smile beneath her gaudy golden crown was only a mask. The real face lay beneath, wild, wide eyes of ferocious blue set in a beet-red scowl, frothing at the mouth as she screamed every perceived flaw or whispered rumor. She would shriek until her voice cracked under the strain, and then she would turn violent. Of course, the queen hadn't always been this way. Once she had been a lowly maidservant, attending the previous queen, Jillian's true mother. In those days she had seemed humble, even kind, but after the queen's death, that demure servant quickly found her way into the king's bed. In Jillian's memory, it was as if the crown slipped from her mother's head and landed upon the Weasley usurper without ceremony or question. When the true queen lived, this pale imitator had mirrored her so perfectly that no one could doubt her sincerity. But with her mistress's light extinguished, the shadows it once held at bay revealed the jagged cruelty beneath, the twisted lines that had always framed her borrowed radiance. Jillian endured the abuse with a quiet dignity. Yea. Though the pale queen raged with ferocity, she never struck with a closed fist, only a weak, trembling claw of a hand, half curled, that flailed pathetically atop Jillian's head. It was less a blow and more a tantrum, a gesture that bruised more pride than flesh. Jillian would cry out, or remain still until the queen, nursing her own hand, retreated in frustration. She never forgot the first time that claw landed, nor the smile that spread across the sub-queen's face when she realized she could get away with it. That smile, wide, sincere, and glistening with cruel liberation, was the most honest expression Jillian had ever seen her wear. In the decades since, she'd never seen anything quite so genuine. Now she sat, quietly poised as the perfect princess emptied almost entirely of herself, lest some spark of soul rise within her and ignite the queen's hellish rage, that would be released as soon as the guests had left. And what a varied and almost comical collection of dignitaries there were to strut and posture before her. Each one was dressed in shimmering decadence to the degree that the sight of golden filigree had become as redundant as leaves on a tree. They paraded the hall, either dancing in wide, slow circles, or simply milling about as they dined and drank while speaking in high, lofty tones, each meant to carry over the others. They came in all varieties of shapes, none of them attractive. Rather, they seemed like caricatures of excess. Some were short and wide with a lack of height, like a lack of height could be easily substituted for girth, and others were gaunt and haggard by a lack of definition. Other than gaudy fashion, they were all united by an ethereal disdain for each other. The guests would occasionally break from their humdrum revelry to come bid well wishes to the guest of honor, Princess Gillian. The king and queen stood to either side, like either guards or ticket vendors, who greeted each pompous passerby with royal swagger. Even from behind, Gillian could sense their eyes lighting up at the potential prizes to be gleaned from these patrons. While they enjoyed the prestige, it was all too clear they were here for the profit, trading Gillian's life and freedom for some grand show of handing her over to a fashionably late suitor she had never met. While she dreaded what fate might await her, she eagerly anticipated the moment she might pass through the castle gates, never to return. Another guest approached, round-faced, sweating, and leering hungrily. The porcine politician bowed with exaggerated slowness, using the motion as an excuse to eye her up and down. His face was flushed beet red, not with embarrassment, but exertion. Even the light dancing and the 3 shallow stares had taxed his limited reserves. So much of his body seemed committed to the work of digestion that little remained for dignity. "Princess," he stammered as he bowed again, his leer widening in an even grander gesture that Gillian perceived to be what it was, a mockery. The royal guardians behind and on either side beamed at the sign of fealty, knowing it was meant for them. This entire affair was less a presentation of Gillian's beauty and more an auction, it seemed. A strange ripple moved through the crowd. The music stumbled. A sudden discordant note from every corner of the hall. Past the puffed-up politician sweating through his finery, Gillian saw him. A tall figure, draped in a dark, switch cloaked garb. Tall figure, draped in a dark garb, glided lazily through the crowd. He moved like water, weaving, never rushed, as if the festivities parted to accommodate him. He was striking. Even hunched, he stood a head taller than any other guests. Long, dark, blackish hair draped loosely down his back, but what caught Gillian's breath were the ears. Pointed, distinct, cutting clean triangles through the mess. She gasped. A high elf? But no, something was off. His presence lacked the polish described in her books. His clothes were worn, his chest was bare, red trousers tattered at the hem, and wide, bare feet that padded silently across the marble like some great beast. He plucked food from plates with a casual indifference and joined snippets of dances, only to drift away before the steps were complete. Gillian studied him, mesmerized. His narrow eyes scanned the room, not with judgment, but disinterest. They passed over brocade and gems like weeds in a field. Create an image. Control C. Control V. Bam. Then he looked at her, just for a breath, and her heart leaped in her chest like an excited puppy. Sure. But no, something was off. His presence lacked the polish described in her books. His clothes were worn, his chest was bare, red trousers tattered at the hem, and wide bare feet that padded silently across the marble like some great beast. He plucked food from plates with a casual indifference and joined snippets of dances, only to drift away before the steps were complete. Jillian studied him, mesmerized. His narrow eyes scanned the room, not with judgment, but disinterest. They passed over brocade and gems like weeds in a field. Then he looked at her, just for a breath, and her heart leapt in her chest like an excited puppy. His steely gaze pierced her, saw her, and moved on with a flick of one thin brow. The politician beside her reddened at being ignored, puffed in outrage, until he turned and truly saw the stranger. He blanched. "By the Maker," he whispered, "it's a Nephilim." "What on earth is one doing here of all places?" the Queen asked, her silky smooth composure starting to ruffle. "And at this time?" The king, a short, once round man who now appeared, drained of his juice like a grape withering on a vine, bulked and sought his words carefully before speaking oafishly. "Perhaps it is a blessing, my queen." "Fool," the queen snapped. "Why would a member of the divine race bless any kingdom loyal to Morrigan?" With that, the king, lord of the land, bit his tongue and stifled his voice. Jillian had watched her once happy beaming father. Nah. It's pretty damn close. Yeah. It's pretty fair. With that, the king, lord of the land, bit his tongue and stifled his voice. Jillian had watched her once happy beaming father wither under the cold looks from the queen. He had lost his voice years ago and now existed as a symbol of his once greatness. The high elf strode forward with indifference, his eyes darting the rafters, as if following some invisible quarry the way a cat does. He loomed over the three figures, king, queen, and politician, and yet he had not yet ascended the stairs. In his shadow they instinctively cowered. Okay. Oh, wow, they even got the bare feet here, huh? Hmm. Where was I? That the king, lord of the land, bit his tongue and stifled his voice. Jillian had watched her once happy beaming father wither under the cold looks from the queen. He had lost his voice years ago and now existed as a symbol of his once greatness. The high elf strode forward with indifference, his eyes darting the rafters as if following some invisible quarry the way a cat does. He loomed over the three figures, king, queen, and politician, and yet he had not yet ascended the stairs. In his shadow they instinctively cowered. The queen quickly unfroze and composed herself enough to direct a comment to the pale, aloof guest. "And by what great fortune of happen chance do we owe the honor of your presence?" His eyes darted down to her for an instant, and again flicked his brow, this time with a look of obvious disgust. "Why do you look so sticky?" he asked the Queen, before turning his gaze back up toward the ceiling like he had no interest in her reply. Jillian, despite herself, laughed. Not a long laugh, not a happy laugh, but a sudden burst, a bolt of laughter that ruptured out from some part long since forgotten. The Queen snapped back with an expression that told Jillian the woman's carefully produced mask had been instantly shattered. The princess felt an ice-cold terror start to crawl up her legs as she braced for what insult or injury was to follow. As the tall figure took his first step onto the stage, he passed over the 3 steps in a single movement and rose up to block the light from above and the sight of the crowd. Before her, Jillian only saw his tall, casually intimidating figure, casting a dark shadow over all that had terrified her for so long. He maintained his indifference by fixing his gaze tightly to the back wall and tilting his head in contemplation. The politician panicked and dove off the stage, before scrambling on all fours to hide underneath it. The Queen's menacing rabbit expression was unrestrained as she wheeled back to the pale figure above her. In the silence, the deflated monarch found his weak and faltering voice. "It is nice to see a noble elf again." At the word noble, the stranger glanced down at the shell of a man, and Jillian noted a pitying look passed over the smooth, unblemished features. His eyes then flashed back to Jillian, and his gaze hardened into dark blue razors that caught the light and held it like a dagger to her throat. She felt exposed, bare, as if for the first time someone didn't see the princess and all she was supposed to be. Instead, someone, for once, was seeing the girl. Jillian's breath caught in her chest. Her throat tightened, not from fear, not entirely, but from some unnameable pressure inside her that had no place to go. No one had ever looked at her like that, like she was real. The crowd buzzed faintly behind him, voices muttering in disbelief, but it all seemed to come from far away. His face tightened in a beautiful scowl as he muttered, "You don't belong here anymore." He glanced at the Queen again with casual dismissal before turning back and facing the crowd. Jillian noted his cloak was a long, tattered jacket with the sleeves missing, and the tail end of it snapped at the Queen. With this second assault to her ego, she snapped, her rage now on display for the court to see. "Guards," she ordered with a tense raised claw, "seize him! Do not let him disrupt the ritual." The words echoed through the hall like a stone dropped in still water, but no one moved. The guards stood frozen, eyes flicking to one another, waiting for someone else to step forward first. The stranger didn't flinch. He looked slowly from one guard to the next, his face unreadable, bored even, as if they were all background noise to some far more interesting thought. He sighed. "Still playing your little pageant?" he said, and then to the whole room, "I know exactly what you vermin are. Now flee before me for my amusement." He spread his arms, not wide, but enough to show his empty hands. No sword, no weapon, and in doing so, twin flames ignited in his palms. A quiet gasp rippled through the crowd. Someone dropped a goblet. Without turning back or looking at Jillian, he spoke softly in a voice that struck harder than any assault by the Queen. "Don't worry, little bird," he murmured. "You'll fly soon." And then, without another word, he stepped off the stage and seized an attendant by the throat with a flaming grasp. The dignitary choked and struggled before orange tendrils started to move through them from this contact point. Their smooth skin became haggard as their features twisted into something menacing and very afraid. The horrific transformation lasted for a moment before the once noble attendee burst into flame completely and then fell into a pile of ash. Chapter 2. Yeah. Yep, that tracks as well. All right. The shock that struck the room displaced time itself. You gotta be fucking kidding me. The scene's intensity might nudge against the borders of what we can do. Do it. Images are too intense for AI to illustrate. That's an accomplishment. And it means I gotta fucking work on it myself. That sucks. The shock that struck the room displaced time itself, stretching that moment into eternity. As the vagrant elf wiped his ash-covered palm on his jacket, a scream from somewhere in the room shattered the stillness. Under all the pomp and swagger, the decadent designs and the polished luster, something had been released. Something primal and filthy that had been living in the hearts of so many called noble. The wicked transformation was not contained to this first victim. This transmogrification spread like a contagion and instantly infected those most decorated and revered. They were not just ignited, they were unveiled. What looked like nobility melted away with every flicker of firelight. The ornate layers they wore, jewels and medals, wigs and powdered faces, began to smolder and fall away. Smolder and fall away, revealing skin that was gray, cracked, or scaled beneath. One lord, previously the picture of opulence, shrieked as his face peeled in two directions, revealing a horned snout snarling underneath. Another gasped, but the gasp curdled into a growl as a second set of teeth broke free from his cheek, curling into a jagged smile that did not belong to any man. He lunged blindly, not at the Nephilim, but at a fellow guest, raking sharp claws through a velvet coat to tear at flesh beneath. Then came the panic. The enchantment of order shattered, and screams bloomed across the ballroom like fire flowers. Nobles ran in every direction, not just from the stranger, but from each other. Friends turned on friends, masks crumbled to reveal monstrous truths, and Jillian watched, frozen on the stage as chaos bloomed in perfect grotesque symmetry. Only the queen remained still. Her eyes, wide and impossibly blue, locked onto the Nephilim with a venomous mixture of fear and recognition. Her clawed hand trembled now, not from anger, but something more ancient. "You," she hissed, backing away one step. "You should not exist. You were sealed." The Nephilim cocked his head at her, expression unreadable. "You remember," he said quietly. "That means you're old enough to rot properly." He took a single step forward. The queen shrieked and flung a hand toward him, not to strike, but to cast. Her fingers erupted in black flame, not the warmth of fire, but the brittle, dry heat of decay. The spell flew from her hand, a shrieking lance of rot. The Nephilim caught it. His left hand, still glowing faintly, closed around the withering magic. The black fire sizzled and smoked in his palm, until he squeezed, and it vanished like a dying ember. "Cute," he muttered. "Try that again, and I'll unmake your soul." The queen stumbled back, but behind her, the king was crumpled on the floor, not from attack, but sheer collapse. His withered form wheezed for breath, a puppet whose strings had all been cut. Even now, he looked to the queen for permission to faint. Jillian couldn't move. She couldn't blink. Her body was stone, but her mind raced like a bird in a cage. The flames, the monsters, the screams, the peeling skins, none of it made sense. But what terrified her most was that some part of her expected it. As if a crack inside her had just split wide open, and the truth she'd spent a lifetime suppressing had begun to seep out like light from a long-buried lantern. She turned her head, and the Nephilim was looking at her again. His expression softened, just a hair, enough to carve out something unfamiliar in his otherwise sharp face. Concern. "You all right, little bird?" he asked, not loudly, but the words found her like the arrows find their mark. Jillian opened her mouth, then closed it. "What are they?" she managed to whisper, voice shaking. "What did you do to them?" He tilted his head again, as if surprised by the question. "I didn't do anything," he said. "I just stopped pretending." As he turned back to the crowd, a grin spread wide across his face, revealing sharp teeth and a mischievous spirit. He walked amongst the chaos, reveling at the sight of it. Now this is a ritual worth attending. That's right, eat the rich, feast on their fat. His laughter carried over and danced with the mayhem. Reaching the spot where the musicians had previously played sweet songs of enchantment, he stooped down to retrieve something from the now bloody pit that produced wet choking sounds as the artists fed on each other. It's a reference to how artists use art as reference. Standing up, he held the conductor's wand high and began to wave it as if directing the frenzy around him. He danced. Not the disinterested half-steps he had approached with, but a rhythmic, happy pacing that wove through the din. He swayed and spun as monstrous nobles desperately lunged toward him, only to be deftly evaded. In his free hand a fireball formed before he used it to seize a mutating brute that rushed forward. The beast crumpled into a smoldering puzzle of char. Jillian watched in horror. Her stomach flipped, not from the carnage, but from the quiet, terrible realization that she wasn't afraid. She was relieved. She looked from the crumpled king to the painted queen and felt nothing but contempt thinning into pity. They had ruled her world like gods, but gods don't beg. Gods don't cower. These were just fools dressed in gold. Even Jillian knew gods danced with chaos. As blood spilled across the floor, it slipped through the ancient cracks and lines, revealing a circular design that had always been there, waiting. A strange pressure filled the room, a crushing volume, like the air itself had gained weight. Jillian recognized it. She had felt this force all her life, but until now it had only lived inside her. The high elf seemed to lighten under the unseen mass. His posture straightened, his mischievous leer widened. Throwing the conductor's baton behind him with a careless flick, it bounced off the queen's shaky crown. Jillian's voice choked, then found itself. "Why don't you stop it?" she whispered, voice taut under the weight. "Stop it?" he asked. "I want them to finish it. But if you insist, I can speed this haphazard summoning up. Let's see what kind of prize is at the bottom of this box." With that, he began his ignoble assault. He caught one of the altered beasts mid-lunge and hoisted it into the air, tearing it in two like parchment. Black blood splattered across the stone, seeping eagerly into the circular design beneath their feet. He flung the twitching halves aside like spent fruit and seized another, slamming it into the ground with such force that marble cracked. A stomp followed, not to kill, but to squeeze until the creature gave up its last oozing gasp. And still he moved through them, ripping, smashing, burning, a force of barbaric joy. He wasn't killing to survive, he was celebrating. The destruction of the wicked was his feast. The air began to hum, a slow, heavy pulse that throbbed like a drum. With every kill it quickened, deepened, as if the death and anarchy were blood in the veins of something vast and ancient, something being brought back to life. The queen, who had stood frozen in the posture of a cornered cat, teeth bared, claws raised, finally moved. She threw her head back and loosed a high, cruel laugh that sliced through the screaming. "Fool!" she shrieked. "Blood is blood! You've interrupted our ritual, and still our master comes." "I know," he said with a shrug before grabbing two snarling patrons and slamming them together with a sickening crunch, reducing them to a single pulpy pile. He turned, now stained and steaming, and began to walk. This time there was no swirling crowd to weave through, no games, no distraction. Only a straight deadly line from him to Jillian. Seeing her orchestrations ruined, the queen reanimated in a panic. Seizing a knife that had been tucked in her bodice, she raised it high in the air, as her other hand buried its claws into Jillian's thick curly hair to wrench the girl's skull back. The dainty crown the princess carried fell and rolled off the stage. The queen pressed the silver blade to Jillian's throat. "Go ahead," said the Nephilim, stopping before the stage. He looked down at the enraged queen. "Then you'll have nothing left to offer your master when he rises." The queen faltered as if struck. Jillian looked to the elf, who stood suddenly passive as he looked at her with kindness. "It was never meant to be you," he said softly, "yet here we are." Looking to the king and then to the queen, he stated, "You realize you are just the same as him, right? Just a flimsy puppet on a string for Morgan to dangle and make dance." The queen snapped at the Nephilim and loosened her hold slightly on the girl. "I am no one's puppet. While the Empress may have led me to the castle, it was I who poisoned the queen and took her crown. It was I who replaced the court, and it was I who orchestrated the rise of our great prince." At this confession, Jillian felt something rise within her. A great rejection of all she had endured in the name of duty. Suddenly the claw at her scalp and the knife at her throat felt as flimsy as the lies she had accepted for so long. A spark caught fire within her, rising like the elf's own flame. Feeling the urge rise, Jillian looked to the stranger for guidance. Turning his back to her, he stared at the center of the circle that crackled and spat black sparks into the air. An otherworldly wind wove about them that was hot and dry like the desert. "Blood is blood," he repeated with a casual disregard. Jillian seized his meaning and the handle of the blade. The queen's hand, once a source of torment, of shrieking fits and pitiful claws, now felt brittle, frail. Her fingers were no more formidable than dried leaves trembling in a storm. The silver knife trembled between them. For a moment, neither moved. Then Jillian twisted. A sharp cry rang out as the queen staggered back, hand torn from Jillian's hair. The blade remained in Jillian's grasp, shaking. She did not raise it. Not yet. The queen cradled her hand and hissed. But it was not the fury Jillian had come to fear. It was panic. It was disbelief. "You," she started, but Jillian cut her off. "No more lies," she said, her voice quiet but clean. "No more pretending you ever had power. You wore cruelty like a crown, but you were always just a servant." Jillian pointed the curved blade at the sorceress, for that was what she really was. That was what really she was. Not a queen, but a deceiver and consort to devils. The flow isn't great there. The Nephilim watched with a subtle nod. The heat in the room twisted into something deeper, not flame, but revelation. The air tasted like bitter truth. "Blood is blood," he murmured again, though this time his tone held the reverence of a priest and the threat of a storm. From the shadows the king whimpered. The queen shrank. And Jillian, the girl, the scapegoat, the sacrifice, lunged forward. She wasn't running. She wasn't pleading. She was becoming. The fine silver edge pierced the sorceress's chest, cutting off her scream before it could form. Their eyes met, just once, in a moment of raw, wordless understanding. The once golden queen staggered. Blood ran freely down her bodice, spilling off the stage like cursed wine, feeding the very spell she had spent a lifetime weaving. Her life, and its grand design, ended in the same breath. Chapter 3. The air was still. Bodies, both human and demon. This is good practice. The air was still. Bodies, both human and demon, lay scattered in bloody heaps. Those who hadn't been transformed or slaughtered had fled up the stairs, screaming. Their shrill cries reverberated down the halls, then vanished. Now, only a wretched silence remained, crawling into Jillian's ears, prying loose memories she'd long since locked away. Her mother's slow withering under the traitorous maid's care, Morrigan's dark elf diplomats whispering in the usurper's ear, and further back, buried in a memory she wasn't sure she should have. She saw herself as a baby, glowing with brilliant light in a darkened room. All these images rushed into her mind, setting her hands trembling. The silver knife, slick with the queen's blood, slipped loose and clattered to the floor, shattering the oppressive silence. Exposed, with no self-delusion left to shield her, Jillian felt her legs threaten to buckle beneath her. The Nephilim, high elf or something stranger, crouched low by the circle, watching it with sick bemusement. Jillian's inner unraveling seemed beneath his notice. He simply rocked back and forth, childlike in his anticipation. "Come on, you bastard," he whispered, voice thick with a low growl. The air turned hot, suffocating, as the stone floor within the circle began to fall away, stone by stone, revealing a swirling, luminous blue font of magical energy. It spiraled like a hungry whirlpool, pulling at the surrounding chamber with ravenous force. Tapestries tore loose. Tables and silverware clattered into the void. Even the bodies of the fallen were dragged toward the vortex, consumed without ceremony. The elf's grin widened. Jillian finally collapsed, sinking into the inflated poops of her dress, a crumpled pile of disbelief. And in exchange for all it devoured, the font breathed out a storm of sand, hot, stinging, and dry. In an instant, the ballroom's gilded luxury was stripped away, replaced by the grinding grit of a wind-blown desert. As the elf stood, the wind died, and the sand settled, as if the very air knew to bow before him. The circle stilled, smoothing into a surface like polished glass. From its center, black flame uncoiled, twisting upward into a cocoon that cracked and split, revealing a figure stitched together from all it had devoured, flesh, torn, compacted, and contorted, mingled with stone, silver, and silk. Tables, finery, and corpses had fused into a single wretched monstrosity, a grotesque monument to excess. Jillian's stomach lurched. This was her intended suitor. The figure loomed over the elf, twice his height and still rising, a mass of stitched decadence and stolen flesh. But the ragged stranger didn't flinch. He only grinned wider, eyes gleaming with wicked delight. "I love these slapdash rituals," he chuckled. "You morons will cram anything together just to claw your way into this world." Its breath whistled like wind wheezing through a rocky pass. Eyes blinked from where velvet had melted into skin. Something deep inside it stirred the machination to life, and laughed. Its laughter echoed in dull, oppressive waves that filled Jillian's already broken heart with a fresh swell of despair and loneliness. Numb, her thoughts clouded and thick, she barely registered the thing's bent, stitched body lurching toward her, ugly and eager, delight twisting its features into something almost joyful. But just as the grotesque fingers reached out, the expression faltered. The elf, still crouched beside the circle, had finally caught its attention. "Asmodeus?" he asked, almost amused. "Is that you?" The demon bulked, standing silent as its disproportionate eyes swirled with hellish fire, flames that twisted and flared as if struggling to focus on the figure rising beneath them. The elf rose, still crouched in bemused anticipation a heartbeat ago, now standing tall between the towering flesh golem and the crumpled maiden behind him. "It is you," he declared, laughing. "I came looking to banish a demon, and what do I find? A devil! Lucky me!" He tilted his head with mock reverence. "Granted, you're the lowest and most pathetic of the bunch, but hey, I'll take the win." The demon lowered its reaching claw. Realization flickered across its grotesque face. Fear twisted through the stitched and swollen features, a look that didn't belong on something built from hunger and bone. The grinding churn of stone and meat struggled to form words, but one cracked through like a curse. "Jost?" The elf's grin turned sharp. "Bingo, bitch boy." He took a casual step back, savoring the demon's hesitation. "How's your mom? I'm shocked she let you out without a leash." The elf leapt lightly onto the stage, passing before Jillian without so much as a glance. He grabbed the queen's lifeless corpse by the arm and dragged it aside like dead weight. "It really is a pity you couldn't find a proper host," he said, flicking blood from his hand with lazy disdain. Then he gestured toward Jillian. "But this is sick." His tone turned to ice. "To try and possess a little girl, out of your fascinations, out of your lust, you call love? It's not romantic, it's disgusting. Objectification dressed in poetry. How many prizes, how many baubles must you curse with your impotence?" The creature flinched, staggering back as the elf hopped effortlessly down into the circle. The radiant pool of energy rippled beneath his feet with each lithe step, as if even here he walked on water. "Now then," the elf said coolly, "you missed a piece, and from what I can tell, a nervous system. Let me help you with that." With a flick of effort, he flung the queen's body into the demon's seething mass. The flesh swallowed it greedily, mercurial and obscene, drawing it inward with unnatural ease. In an instant, tendons stitched, bones cracked into place, and the queen's form became part of the thing's grotesque anatomy. Jillian's stomach turned, her mind filled with screaming silence as the full horror landed. If it touched her, even once, it would make her part of itself, too. That was what they'd raised her for, to smile, to obey, to offer herself up. Now she knew what that meant. If it touched her, if she let it, she would disappear forever. The demon reeled backward, twitching, spasming, reshaping around the queen's body. Her form twisted again. Too many limbs, too many eyes, too many teeth, all wrong. The air cracked with the stench of blood and burnt silver. Jillian stepped forward through the glowing pool of energy, each step sending out another ripple, unbothered by the collapsing ritual around him. As the shifting form settled into something even more monstrous, with the queen's stretched and bent red-lipped leer now emerged from the creature's chest. As it spoke again, the queen's voice mixed and echoed with the tone that resonated inside Jillian's dazed skull. She was mine. I whispered her pain into meaning. I filled her emptiness. You would have let her rot in silence. She desires me and the freedom I offer. What would you do but hide her in another castle? The elf cocked his head and gave the demon an incredulous look. Glancing back at the dazed maiden, he smirked a short laugh before turning his attention once more to the devil before him. You think I came for her? He said, jerking a thumb in Jillian's direction. No. I came here for you. He extended his hand, and the air around him seemed to condense, folding, hardening, until it formed a solid object in his grasp. A long, twisted blade appeared, black as nightmare, shaped from bone and fang. It was terrible to look at. Alive. From the thickest curve of the blade, a single eye opened, roving madly until it fixed on the devil. When its gaze landed on Asmodeus, it let out a delighted squeal that scraped at the back of Jillian's eyes. Calm down, hate-spreader, the elf said, as one might scold an impulsive child. This one is all mine. As he stepped into the center of the circle, the devil recoiled, shrinking back until its flesh pressed against the far side of the magical barrier. The white light burned where it touched, forcing the creature to flinch forward with a hiss of pain. Chunky teeth. The elf raised his hand. With a sharp motion, he spun the blade downward and slammed it into the circle, blade first. Runes erupted from 5 points, racing outward to the circle's edge. They twisted around its perimeter, weaving into an intricate pattern, beautiful, despite the chaos and blood surrounding it. The blade stood upright, buried in the stone. Gripping it with both hands, the elf began to turn it with deliberate force. As it rotated a full half-turn, a snap echoed through the chamber, audible and metaphysical. The sigil, the circle, the whirlpool of energy vanished. The barrier collapsed. The demon staggered backward, dismayed, its form trembling, its arrogance cracked. What did you do? It asked, voice small, no longer resounding with infernal authority. I locked the gate, Joss replied, stepping back from the wicked blade now buried deep in the earth beneath the stone. Jillian noticed it sat within a recessed plaque or monument, an old marker perhaps, into which the weapon fit with eerie perfection, as though it had always been meant to rest there. The elf advanced. Now you can't escape back to hell. Back to your mommy, he smiled. Now you're all mine to play with. And that's where I'm going to pick up writing tomorrow morning. That's the plan. And, yeah, it's going to get even darker. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it feels like tonight's stream was kind of a bust. Maybe I should have just sat around smoking weed, playing video games instead, but I suppose this was better. If anybody's watching this, I could use a few more followers to get to my mark of 40. I appreciate everyone who stopped by. Dion, sorry I didn't get to you. Daisy James, sorry I didn't get to you and mention you. Beard Chug, always a pleasure. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to call this quits for now. Probably sit back and smoke a big fat bowl to myself, like I said I've been trying to resist, just because, yeah. All right. Almost 4 hours. Now I'm good.